Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are drinking whiskey cocktails, pre-made ones. Ones that come in bottle you don't touch other than pouring into a glass with a little bit of ice. So today we actually have quite a range of these different things. Majority of them, half of them, are old fashions. One of them tastes like an old fashioned. And then two oddballs compared to the rest.
Hey Tom, how you doing today, bud?
I am warm. It's very hot.
It's very hot. And
this room is not cool either. But the drinks are supposed to be.
To on a hot day give us cocktails that are meant to be served cold. They've been sitting in your fridge for a half an hour.
They were refrigerated for a little bit.
For a half an hour.
It's,
with no ice.
Let's enjoy this. Let's go for it.
I will forever enjoy my time with you, Thomas. But I'm just, questioning the setup choice. But
I never said it was smart.
I thank you very much, though, because as we all know, I love cocktails, especially on the sweeter side of things.
Yep.
So I appreciate you sparing my palate for this.
If you couldn't tell, joining us today is Rob. Hi, Rob.
Hello.
And Jabril. Hi, Jabril. He's abstaining from talking currently.
Hello.
I'm supposed to be the difficult one here.
So we got two people here today. Whiskey's about sharing with friends and everything, so why not have some good friends over and share some whiskey cocktails this time around.
In case anyone's wondering why I haven't shown up for a while, no one is, but it's because Tom doesn't want to edit so many cork sounds into the videos anymore.
With me.
No, he swore a bunch last time. It was like a sailor, and then Nick swore, and then immediately was like, "Oh no, I said," and he said the word again. I'm just like, that guys.
Speaking of which, has anyone ever watched Insert Comedian here?
Yeah. But I'd actually know. On a funner note, I actually was able to give you a shout out on Twitch stream, so. Be on the. Maybe you'll get a few.
Holy fudge buckets.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Holy chocolate balls!
But I like how you also said on a funner note. We were talking about my channel, and you said on a funner note.
But
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, funner. We were still talking about your channel.
Besides the bad English.
Is funner a word? I don't believe so.
English is all made up shit anyway.
It is all made up, and also good cork sound right
now.
Real good cork.
I don't know how you do that with your mouth. It is impressive, sir. It is impressive, sir. First one I'm grabbing here is we got a Bullet. Have you guys ever had Bullet Rye? Or not Bullet Rye too, but Bullet Bourbon?
No, not at all.
I have had it once. It was decent. Don't remember a whole lot about it. But they do make a old-fashioned cocktail, pre-made. The only constant on the frontier is change. That's what it says. Best enjoyed straight up or over ice. It's chilled, not ice. Made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey and orange bitters. So I'm going to crack this one open. I have not opened some of these. Some of these were purchased today. So all of them except for the Hercules Mulligan and the Soul Boxer were purchased today. I couldn't get my hands on the Stolen X, which I had seen in a video by How to Drink, channel How to Drink. Love that channel, and both me and Rob had seen it, and I had brought it to a gathering with friends and stuff. We were playing D&D and stuff.
I just remember immediately recognizing that bottle because I want to say I had watched it like 2 days before.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I know what that is and I want it.
I showed up at a relatively local liquor place and saw it, and I went, yeah, I'm bringing this. I don't want to have to mix it myself. They loved it. Let's give it a try. So, but we're going to start with the Bullet Bourbon first. So it's got a rubber cork. It says Bullet. All right, and that was
That was artificial.
You know what?
It was artificial because it's so rubbery.
It's hopefully going to be better than the sound that it gave us, and I'm spilling it because this is
Bottle's
meant to be poured a lot more than these light amount that I'm pouring. So,
not
Bullet.
not on a nice end.
Bullet bourbon. Yeah, it's. I like the labeling itself. The labeling itself is actually kind of interesting, but
Do you mind?
it's go for it. Check it out.
See, so I do remember you saying that you stopped.
Is there anything particular?
Well, no, I just do remember you saying that you had kind of stopped. How do I put it? Get it right there. Thank you, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember you saying that you had stopped kind of reading ahead on those because maybe it leaves an imprint in your mind, taste-wise.
Yeah.
Where you like to have a fresh stance on, and maybe read it afterwards.
Yeah.
I do like that change you've made.
Yeah, and I actually have been doing genuine. I just sit in front of my computer and do an actual read, trying to avoid the flavors and stuff in general. But yeah, no, I've had Bullet, and this is an old fashioned though, so I'm not. I'm just expecting to try to hopefully find an old fashioned here, a solid old fashioned. I definitely get the Angostura bitters.
That's very big on bitters.
Yeah. I get a little bit of the bourbon. Not much, though. It's mostly just sweet and orange and...
Very berried.
I do get a hint of the sweetness on the back end, though.
I get a lot of the sweetness.
I was going to say it's just bouncing back and forth for me between sweet, orange, and bitters, man.
Yeah.
As we all know, though, I do love bitters.
Yeah, me too. We're sitting at 75 proof, 37.5. Rob's going for it, so I guess we're going for it. Let's give it a taste.
That is light.
What did I just...
I just got a light taste and Tom just swigged the whole thing.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I think I poured the most in yours because I was trying to...
Oh, we're trying to get me... Oh.
Not intentionally.
Tom! Whoa. You don't need to get me like that for that, Tom.
I did also realize that we have no lights.
We're going to have to re-record the whole thing.
The other day, I had a fan on. Now I don't have the light on. We're extremely professional around here, guys. Apologies.
No pressure. So, take two.
You just want more. I don't blame you.
You're definitely not wrong. I do want more of this. This is actually pretty nice.
Yeah, no.
It needs the ice, though.
Yeah, I think the ice would... Even though it is a little cooler, it doesn't mean that it's actually cold. I probably could have left it a little longer in the fridge, but...
What is that?
I was thirsty.
I don't know what I'm tasting at the very... Like, every time I go in for a taste, there's like something at the very beginning, but then it goes away almost immediately.
Huh.
I kind of feel like it's like a candy of some sort.
To me, it tastes almost like God, what is that called? Orange wedges.
Orange wedges. Okay, yeah, the candied orange wedges.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get what you're talking
very
about.
fitting.
I definitely get what you're talking about with that very candy feel to it. Maybe less so without the sourness that usually came with those.
Weirdly, the finish that all I'm getting is a tiny bit of orange and cinnamon. Like, that's all that's really sitting left on my palate is weirdly orange and cinnamon. I'm not complaining about that in the slightest, but
I'm not getting much of the cinnamon.
It's a light cinnamon. It's like a cinnamon sugar, orange.
That warm's definitely there, though. Yeah, no, that needs its ice. That's...
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I've had... So the next one we're going to jump on over to is... Should we keep the old fashions? Keep the old fashions running for now, and then get on to the different stuff. Just so we can compare them back to back.
I really just want a recorded
I'm going to
argument
compare them back to
for this. You and me had gotten into this argument about old fashions, and
I know what he's talking about.
Every one of our friends should know the argument that we had because I got pretty loud during it.
He's very passionate about the fact.
Well, the idea, as you would argue,
the
idea that an old fashioned should be with an orange. I am of the mind that it should be with an orange peel, not with cherries.
Cherries is the initial,
like some people,
how they were originally made.
Like
I mean, there's nothing wrong with having an orange peel if you so choose.
I disagree.
I actually say they should have an orange peel, but I just never had oranges to do it. But he also complains that there shouldn't be a cherry involved in an old fashioned.
Not at all. Not at all. There should not be cherries inside of an old fashioned. To all of the bartenders that have served me cherries with an old fashioned, I disagree entirely.
Smaller bottle actually does feel a little cooler. Pours 6 cocktails. This has a higher proof, 86 proof, so this is much higher. Barrel finished. So apparently they make this old fashioned. That was the 75, yeah. So this is 11 proof higher. Old fashioned made with straight rye whiskey, straight bourbon whiskey, and bitters. I've had High West also only one time. Eric, who's been on the channel, he brought the bottle over one time and we had tried it. I actually really liked it, but yeah, pre-batch barrel finished. Apparently they make this and then they leave it in the barrel, which is interesting. Maybe adds a little more depth to it, maybe a little more woodiness, who knows. And it's got a whole full cork that goes all the way up, so that's kind of interesting. A little lackluster on the pop, but not bad. Oh no, this is wood.
I'm going to take this and read this if no one minds.
Go for it. This is wood. And it's,
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I actually like the bottle design too and the way it opened.
Angostura bitters. What is that
much
flavor?
Darker.
What is that flavor supposed to be?
I always lean towards orange personally.
Okay. I guess that would make sense. Though.
Always tastes orangey. Personally, outside of that, don't know.
Do you have any lemons?
Lemons? I do not. I do not have any lemons. Thank you, Jabril. I appreciate it.
This bottle does specifically mention the age-old debate between lemon twist, orange twist, or cherries. It does specifically mention that argument.
I like to have a muddled maraschino cherry in mine with a orange twist, but I never do the orange twist.
Every time I've gone to a bar, they don't even muddle the cherries. They just drop them in there at the end.
Oh, no.
It's so depressing.
No,
it's sugary.
muddled cherry.
Yeah.
Like that at least I can understand.
I can understand, because now it's just a cherry in there. That's not really... You muddle it to get the little bit of the juice and the flavor to kind of mix through, yeah. Outside of that, you might as well just pour the cherry syrup that's in the maraschino cherry into the thing.
I'd probably complain less then, to be entirely honest with you.
Use that instead of maybe the Demerara or the simple syrup. I mean, it had a little more complexity to it. I certainly would agree to that. So, well, come on back. Let's give this one a try. This is much darker, actually. Much, much darker. Thank you, Jabril, for the second holding up of the thing. This is
much more bourbony.
Yeah, but it's also, the orange is a lot rounder, I want to say. The orange on the other one kind of hit you, and it was spikier. It was a little more of the citrus sour type smell to it. This is more of the candied orange smell. And you definitely get that bourbon a lot more. A little bit of wood. This smells similar, a lot closer to the bourbon, or the old fashions that I make.
I was gonna say, this smells like the old fashions you make me, and God, I love every one of them.
Just wish there was an orange twist on it, and maybe a little, not the cherry itself.
Just wish maybe he cared about me enough to get an orange twist, you know.
Yeah, that's
How hard is it to get an orange twist, Tom?
It's not. I just didn't.
Just went to the grocery store today.
I did.
I just want to hear you say it.
Today's pre-made. I'm not going to put an orange twist on every single one of these. They're supposed to be just poured over ice and enjoyed.
Supposed to.
Supposed to. This is nice though. I really like this one. I'm ready for it.
It's way less offensive on the nose. Well, I shouldn't say
not
offensive.
Yeah.
Aggressive? Aggressive. Yeah. Aggressive. It's way less aggressive.
I'm ready for it. Gents, enjoy. Is it weird that it has higher alcohol but burned less?
Yeah.
Burned way less.
It burned way less. It feels like it had less flavor than the last one.
Yeah, the initial punch was less.
Yeah.
This back end is a lot sweeter. I'm getting that candied orange and actually a candied cherry that are just sticking. In the best way, though. This is good. I actually like this one a lot better, personally.
I like it a lot better. Like I said, I just feel like that ice would bring it.
Yeah, it would. I 100% agree. Every one of these would be better over ice. Every one of these. And typically, when I'm talking about bourbon and whiskey in general, I prefer my whiskey to be neat, no ice, nothing. But these aren't just a straight whiskey. This is about enjoying and not necessarily the flavor of the bourbon. I'm not trying to find the complexities of it. I'm not trying to find this and that. I'm just trying to straight up enjoy it. And this High West Old Fashioned I like better, and I think it would be better over ice. Probably every one of these is going to be better over ice.
I feel like, especially for this one, for me, what would make it would actually be a twist of lemon.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like that would absolutely make that one for me. It's nowhere near bad. It's nowhere near something to complain about. But just what would make it for me would be that twist of lemon.
This odd thing is that I can't tell which one I like better. Because, I don't know. Like, I don't know if these are capturing me in the same way that certain things in the past have. It's weird.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, on the taste, it wasn't quite like the ones I make. The smell was much closer to the palate one on the thing. But
I did enjoy it. It was, just in general, it's a far less aggressive drink in every aspect.
But with the higher alcohol content, that just spells danger.
Danger.
Yeah.
It's just pure danger.
Danger.
We're not saying it's good in that regard. But,
that one wouldn't be the one to enjoy with your friends and buddies, but maybe not everyone's driving home that day.
Yeah, I would agree. You only get 6 pours out of it, though, so you'd end up with, So this one is the lowest of the proof out of these 3. Might even just be the lowest proof in general. It is, actually. Soul Boxer Bourbon Old Fashioned. I've actually had this one for a little bit, as I was hoping to just film a video and then bring it for friends to enjoy and just kind of hopefully enjoy it. This one is sitting, like I said, 68 proof. I don't have a lot of information on this one in general, but I'm curious what the bourbon is. I'm sure I might be putting it up on the screen right now. What bourbon has been mixed into this one?
I know it looks so dark through that glass, but I get the feeling once it's put in such...
It's going to be lighter.
Like, once it's put inside these, that might be the lightest one we've had.
It actually wasn't even the worst cork sound, but there's a random... Okay, hair.
Eyelash for a look.
Actually, it's
not
as light as I thought it was going to be.
It's definitely retained it. More than I thought it would.
This and pour it. So this is the lightest of the bunch.
It's got a bit more of a stick.
Yeah, it actually does. It's might have more sugar content, and that actually may be causing a little bit of a sticky.
It smells sweeter.
Yeah, a lot sweeter.
Oh yeah, much sweeter. You are absolutely correct. The orange is there, but barely.
But yeah, though it's sweeter, it's not.
I get sugary, sweet, more cherry.
Yeah.
A hint of the bourbon, but it's really not that strong.
No wood to it.
No, not at all.
I can't really gain alcohol off it at all.
Oh no,
this is.
I'd say it's a. To me, like the only alcohol to it is it's burning my nostrils. I will give it that. Maybe I'm just a bit too deep in it, but
I mean, it's 68 proof.
This is probably for the people that don't like bourbons. This is probably the friendliest of the bunch. If you're not a fan of bourbons in general, on the nose, this is the friendliest of the bunch. Well, gents, I'm ready to try it.
let's go.
Let's go.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's
Holy sweet, that
really
man.
sweet.
Orange, cherry.
Yeah.
No
Just-
bourbon.
That alcohol is right on the end of it, man.
Yeah, just
right on
just
the
right
end.
at the very end. Yeah,
Yep.
Tom's completely right. This is for anybody who just doesn't like the taste of bourbon, but who in some way enjoy old fashions.
I like the idea of that, but I don't want the bourbon itself.
Yeah.
I want to try something delicious. Who maybe in passing conversation has heard of bourbon.
This entire conversation is reminding me of the idea I had earlier.
Oh no, concern.
So, me and Tom were talking earlier about getting some friends together and just making our favorite cocktails.
Yeah.
And he had listed a couple ideas. Mine being a replacement of a tequila sunrise. And I would just put whiskey in it. Sounded like a great idea to me. And I'll keep the name a secret for a little bit.
You're gonna wait till the day for the name.
Yes. You two got the premiere.
Yeah, the exclusive first look.
You guys got to see the concept art, basically.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You guys got to see the concept art, but once it's finished, man, it's gonna ruffle some feathers. Let me tell you.
So, basically, all of these.
Yeah.
If I'm recommending anybody something, and they're not a huge bourbon fan, they want to try an old fashioned, without a doubt, that Soul Boxer is hands down.
Now that we've wrapped up the old fashions, though,
Yeah.
I do want the opinion.
Yeah. Which one?
Which one was your favorite? Maybe not the best. Maybe not. You sit there and go, no, that is without a doubt the best. Just your favorite for how you would like your old fashions to be. Since we all enjoy old fashions here.
It's difficult for me to say without the ice.
Yeah. So I'm leaning towards High West. I like the nose a lot better.
Yeah.
The taste, I only like it a little bit better than the Bullet. Only because I can actually taste a little bit of the bourbon more. The Bullet was actually very good, though. It was very fruit forward, especially that orange. The Angostura bitters really stood out in that one. But I do like the High West just maybe a tinge more.
Well, after the recording, we can definitely put these over ice and have some spirited conversation.
Yeah. You might get a little extra snippet at the end here about what we chose.
Jabril, I'd like to hear yours first.
I guess I'm probably in the same boat as Tom. I'm probably leaning towards the High West on this one. Again, it wasn't as aggressive as the first one. I feel like at the same time, I feel like I got a little bit more of the candy from Bullet.
So you both like how it was served as is, right?
Of course. Yeah. The ice might change it.
And, of course, but my mind is going to, what could I take either or, right?
Yeah.
What do I think could survive the test either way?
Either way.
And actually, for me, I think the Bullet.
It might stand up a little better. The High West over ice, as you said, might become too diluted. You're absolutely right. We'll see. Hey, people, stay tuned, because at the end you will get an update. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. You'll get an update of which one we chose.
All right. So, Tom, have you decided what you want to move on to next?
I'm thinking stick with the High West and go towards that Manhattan.
Okay.
Have you guys ever had Manhattan before?
I have not.
It's been a very long time. I want to say 4 years ago at one of my cousin's weddings, and that's it.
Yeah, I made a Manhattan for myself. I have some vermouth dry from Sweet. I don't remember which one. Either way, I bought it based on online. Who's a what's it's, and I made it, and I liked it. It was good. I weirdly like the old fashions a little more personally. From what I've had.
I'm drawing a blank here. Has anyone else ever popped a cork on this besides you?
What do you mean?
On your channel, has anyone else ever popped a cork besides you?
One of you ladies want to go for it? Feel free.
Jabril's he's eyeing that bottle.
He is. He just straight up grabbed it. He's just like, I want to see this.
He said, "Sir, Manhattan? Yes, I love New York."
I am digging the color on this.
I know. I wish you were showing the camera more.
Yeah.
Holding it to his face.
You can't show the camera everything,
Tom.
Some of it has to be saved for the OnlyFans.
Exactly. That's what the Patreon is for.
VTOWhiskey.
Good Lord. No.
And if you've had problems with some of their recent decisions, then Fansly.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an eye reveal. Just my eye.
But yeah,
VT feet pics.
I love the color, the palette here that's going on in terms like it's got kind of like I like the green a lot.
Green is my favorite color.
Yeah. And what would you call that? Like kind of like a sandwood or a bleach wood?
It reminds me of olive, as most things do.
Oh, Jabril. You don't want to open it?
Jabril, man, I'd like to see it happen.
Alright. Go for it.
Oh, it's a joint effort here.
It's a team
building exercise.
And this is why I open bottles.
Oh, please.
There
a little bit better.
Oh, yeah, slightly.
There you go.
I heard it.
Experienced touch to it.
Yeah, sure. Sure, nothing to do with the way the time is
hard to pour and reach, and I'm terrible at this, and I'm going to end up more on the table than I am in the glass.
You need to bring it past the edge, is basically what
I need to bring the glasses over to me.
Or you just need a better setup. That's also...
While we're ribbing Tom. A better setup, a bigger budget, and maybe salaries for the crew.
Yeah, well, those things are all requiring me to have... viewers.
I keep telling Tom he gets a better job. I'll come work for him.
100%. I will come work for Tom any day. Free of charge some days.
Yeah.
While you guys continuously try to get me to adopt you.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tom.
No, I'll own up to it. Unlike some people, I will own up to it. I want this man to adopt me. That is daddy right there.
It's not creepy at all.
Not at all. Zero.
Not even a little.
0%. Definitely won't be edited out later.
Ooh.
Got a bit of a high sugar content.
Smoky. There's a hint of a smoky quality to this.
Check that stick out there.
You trying to force them to check out your stick?
Trying to force them to check out my stick.
Talk about creepy, man.
That's my stick.
There is a sweetness, a smokiness. This reminds me of something, but I can't put my foot on it. Or my finger.
Your foot?
Or my elbow.
I might be alone on this.
Jabril's still very confused by what I said.
Alcohol on this one is the forefront compared to any mix or dilution.
That was the first thing that I got was the alcohol.
I did not. I actually got a sweet smokiness. That was the first thing I got.
I hear what you're talking about with the smokiness. It's not so much what I would call sweets.
Oh, it's sweet for me.
Jabril got me thinking about sandalwood over here, and that's what my brain keeps saying is, oh yeah, sandalwood, man.
Sorry, I described what the color was.
It is a hint woody, but I would definitely not say sandalwood.
No, it just can't think of anything else. But yeah, no, wood.
It's definitely dark too.
No char.
No, not at all.
No.
It's just a light bit of wood, kind of like an antique wood. Not necessarily sandalwood, not a perfumey wood. And it's not an oak, it's not a peppery, spicy wood.
Maple?
Ah, you know what?
That's where that's sweet. Okay, I could get that.
I can see the maple in the background. There is some maple.
Maple in a Manhattan.
I mean, the smell.
I guess.
We'll see how it tastes.
Are we
Gents, you ready? I'm ready.
Yeah.
Bottoms up. Sour.
Oh, I can leave that.
Yeah.
That burn, that back. No, that back.
I didn't get any burn.
It wasn't the burn
That
for me.
backsplash
Sour.
for me.
The tasting, yeah, I don't know what it was, but the tasting.
Initially
Sour,
wasn't
yeah.
bad, and then it just went sour, and like sour grape.
Once it went past the palate for me, that it backsplashed for me. That was a bad hit.
So
I'm not gonna lie, I might need a retake on that one, but that was.
So, I'm going to describe it to the best of my ability. I'm not saying not to get it. If you like Manhattans and this is your thing, get it. But what I got from this was a artificial grape finishing. I still taste an artificial grape. It tastes like Welch's grape juice.
I can't see what you're talking
Grape
about.
leaves for me. That's where I'm actually stuck at.
Interesting. It was on the palate. It was very sweet, almost like it had a hint of sweet smoke, almost like the maple was there, and then the maple vanished to a sour grape flavor that just is not really my favorite. We've had it. Me and Jabril have had it in the High West, but it was less artificial, more real, kind of like the Concord grapes. This leans slightly more artificial than the
Concentrate, man.
Yeah.
That's what my brain keeps saying on this one, man. It's concentrate.
grape concentrate.
Yeah.
It's
rough.
It tastes fake. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not.
High West, I liked you
I probably should have.
with your old fashioned. Personally, not.
What do you remember from the Manhattan that you had? What were the thoughts that you had when you had it?
Dude, I was. For legal reasons, I cannot discuss this conversation. But no, I had tried it, and I was just happy to get anything. I want to say that night was a mixture of Manhattans, Boilermakers, and
regret.
The fact that I'm not remembering the rest of it should cue it in. But yeah, no, it
Box full and not a fan for me.
Yeah.
nah, just lacking, man.
Yeah, it's like it's hitting.
Lacking and hitting on the wrong points.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was my least favorite by a large margin, to be honest. This is something, even though I purchased this, I don't think I personally will be drinking this again. This is not me.
Any alcohol Tom turns down goes into my cabinet, so I will gladly take this. I will figure out how to fix it or die trying. That is my statement on it. It needs fixings. It needs something. The rest of them, like, you could take them as is. Maybe they needed some dilution or just chilling or cold. But this one, I don't get it.
Maybe Manhattans are supposed to taste like this, and it's just not our forte. Not what we like.
Yeah.
I know that for sure. I don't like it.
I like
Personally.
everything. I like
It's
everything
like-
buried in Jack and sugars.
It's
so.
almost
That's
like
fair.
it was everything. Almost like, for lack of a better term coming to mind, like everything that the old-fashioned isn't to me.
Yeah.
Are you guys up on any of the recent TikTok trends?
No.
That I can come to mind right now.
So one of my
Maybe.
favorite ones is just a guy who talks about just the worst circumstances you could have with your significant other or family, and then summary of there's Jack for that. It's like a Jack Daniels commercial. And my brain's just going, you ever just have an old West Manhattan that was too much of a bite for your lick? There's Jack for that.
It'll fix it.
That's what my brain's going to. Man.
Yeah, I think it's time for some Stolen X. So we've had Stolen X before. We personally know we like it.
But before I gush about it too much, I'm just going to say it is everything that I could ever want, and whoever created it, if I could propose to you, I would. I'm sure my girlfriend would give consent.
I doubt that.
No, for this, I think she would.
This is the only situation in which they both would be fully in agreement for a polyamory relationship.
I mean, To each their own.
I do not consent to that, but
35%. So this is actually
70 proof.
70 proof.
So lacking everything other than the last old fashioned.
Yeah, the Soul Boxer is the only one that's lower than it. Because I think the Bullet was 75%.
This is 37.
Yeah,
that's 75.
75 proof.
The High West is actually 68.
The High West is
the
not.
Old Fashioned is 68.
Are you sure
It's
about
not.
that?
Oh wait, no, it's 86. I'm sorry.
68, 86. Jabril, I've known you for a very long time. I've never known you to be dyslexic.
Well, learn something new every day, right?
Apparently.
So Stolen X is a rock and rye. It is rock candy essentially and rye whiskey. As we said, we saw this in How to Drink. I wanted to check it out. I bought it, brought it to gathering and stuff. It went over well.
Most of the other
Since you purchased this on your way here, do you want to do the honors in opening it?
There's a cork on this.
Open it. Go ahead.
That bottle. He gets the honors.
Woo! That was fancy.
Oh, still fancy. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I feel so honored. And I got to hold my own bottle too. So sweet. But honestly speaking, as far as most of the whiskey spin-offs, as I'm going to call them.
Okay.
Because it's not just straight whiskey, right? It's not a flavor of whiskey. It is additives meant to enhance it or bring something else out of it. But as far as all the ones I've had, this one's by far the best. All the other ones more or less made me spit when it came to rock and rice. Because I made the choice of trying a couple of the others, tossed them. It's a bad idea.
Fair enough.
This, on the other hand, is I bought a bottle for myself. So yeah, I hope that points to how good it is.
So this one is made with aged American rye whiskey, raw honey, and orange peel. Raw honey.
Glad somebody remembered the orange peel.
I hate all of you.
Jabril, thank you.
I hate all of you.
At least someone here understands.
We're all about to
my
leave.
feelings. You have to cook me steak first.
Uh-huh. We'll see.
38-pound porterhouse.
Yeah, I wish.
38-pound porterhouse.
How money you think I got?
You have your own YouTube channel. That's my answer.
Yeah.
No viewers. Oh, sorry. You're the viewer.
I was going to say, I'm a very...
Oh, you can get yours in there too.
Good. Move.
Yeah. Ladies. Dad. Mom, stop fighting. God, just... Love it.
That's like perfectly light.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's much lighter than any of the other old fashions.
Sweet.
It is sweet, a little bit of orange, and just very light. This is significantly lighter scent than the other old fashions. This is
which is saying something because it's keeping up with the alcohol content.
Yeah. The alcohol. I'm not really getting much on the nose at all.
At all. Nothing. Something dangerous.
I'm sticking my nose in there too. And there is a lot of stick on this too, surprisingly. A lot of stick. So
Beautiful.
I'm wondering where this is getting all its oil content.
Oh, it's straight up coming from the rye.
Yeah.
The rye and the rock candy. That's 100%.
It's almost too much stick.
No. Lies. Lies!
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as too
Yes.
much stick?
You can't get out of the glass.
I mean, it all depends on how much you're capable of taking.
Sir, that just means you need to get in there.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Fair
In
enough.
there.
Fair enough. All right, gents. Bottoms up.
Oh, that is nice. No burn whatsoever.
That orange is so good. That's so good.
I still like the High West nose better, but that's it.
I can give you the nose.
I actually like the Stolen's nose better. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The lightness of it.
Yeah.
But
It's understated.
Personally, from my experience with you, I think you lean towards Scotches and Japanese whiskey. You like a lot of lighter things. You like the flavor to certainly be there, but you like it to be delicate.
He's a lightweight.
I wouldn't say that, but he likes the delicate stuff. Stuff that's
One
nuanced, but also beautiful.
One thing I will say is that, and Tom will attest to this, that my opinions have been quite different than what they usually are, in terms of alcohol, because I've been commenting on flavor a lot more than I usually do this episode. Nothing has actually really given me an image in my head today.
I think it's just because they're coming from so many interesting places and so many flavors in it
That's good.
that are stronger, and it's just good. Like, whiskey is so subtle with its sense. It's strong, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of subtlety in the background to them that you have to find these things. And when you find these things and you're searching for them, your brain, when it finds them, it links them to something, because it's like, whoa, what is that? I got a hint of something, and it wants to find something. And I think that might be what happens with why you're not finding it here, because everything is so much stronger. Finding those little nuanced things, I don't think any of us can find them in these.
Guys, I
just
find
find deliciousness.
a beautiful bourbon. It just tasted magnificent. That was good. I liked it.
Okay. I don't have a whole lot to say to
That was
that.
candied orange.
That was positively Nick Swanson. Yeah. Nick Swanson.
Nick Offerman.
Oh, I was thinking, what's
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah, I mean, he got halfway there on both.
Steak, whiskey, old fashions.
And Scotch.
I am.
Ron
I'm sure
Swanson.
Ron Swanson would still enjoy bourbon, but Scotch is his particular version of it. This is this one's
This is where the budget went.
no. This is something I got from Flavier. I joined them to try to get some tasting things. I really like the idea of the tasting boxes and all this stuff, and they had
Not sponsored.
yeah, and definitely not sponsored. They had offered for me to help fund this thing. It was kind of a thing they started. You could actually invest in the whole company and everything. It was kind of cool. I never did, but I decided to get myself a bottle just because I wanted to try it before I even made a choice on to investing or not. And then finances never quite aligned, so I never did. But this
Really
is called Hercules Mulligan. It is a rum and rye. It's rum, rye whiskey, ginger, bitters, and is sitting at 86 proof for 43%. Hercules indeed.
Oh, look at that. On the bottle, the glass has ice in it, Tom.
I don't know what you're talking about. What glass?
Sir,
On the tag.
little tab you just flipped around.
The bottle?
Sir,
I don't see what you're talking about. There is
criminal.
nothing. There is no such.
this is more like corrupt than the media. That's awful. That's just a travesty.
Yeah.
This is just creepy on the back, though. We all have secrets that we will never tell.
I've told you all mine, Tom.
That is one way to start.
Some more
Start
precious
a
than
thing.
others.
Yeah.
My
I've
secret.
whispered
rum,
them
rye.
into your ear.
What's your secret? Your secret is safe with me. Signed. I can't read that.
Hercules Mulligan.
That is
Taylor Spy Drinksmith.
Did you say spy?
I did indeed.
Sir, you're a spy. You're supposed to be suave and all that, and that, frankly speaking, was creepy.
Creepy as shit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So we're off to a bad
Connery
start.
era shit.
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery pop. You guys are all swearing. All right, so let's pop this one. Oh God,
Oh,
it's
no,
stuck.
You can't do it.
Do you need help
Oh
again, Tom?
no.
Okay,
Oh.
that was in there pretty.
nice.
I really do like that.
That's
Top is
cool.
kind of cool.
That's cool.
That was a nice pop.
Presentation for this, other than the creepy statement initially, is fantastic, actually. I really like this bottle. I like the presentation.
It's the suave Harvard grad that participated in things that we don't talk about anymore.
Plays background.
Oof. Oof. In today's background check, did not pass.
Oh, no, this is back.
But he wants to be elected to the Supreme Court, so...
I will let him cut my hair.
All right. It's time for a nosing.
Nose goes?
Ooh, yeah! Fumes on that one.
The heat came a lot stronger than any of these.
I didn't even take that.
A little bit more than the bullet.
Man.
That's a fire pit, man. That is a fire pit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, this is
I can smell the rum.
And it's thick. It's not as
I can smell the ginger, because I think the ginger is causing some
It's
burn,
not as
too.
defined as the other ones either.
No.
It's pretty thin.
It smells great, though. I mean...
Oh, no. It's just
great in its own way.
It surprised you, because compared to the mellowness of the rest of these noses...
Yeah.
That hits, but it's not at all bad.
I'm getting the ginger.
Yeah, that ginger.
Yeah.
It's a spiciness to it. It's not quite the alcohol. There's an alcohol burn along with the spicy burn. They're quite aggressive. So initially you're like, whoa! And then it kind of mellows and it has a really nice scent.
Dude, that rum matches so well with it. That's the weird part.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Stolen, but like having Stolen if you mixed it with like a ginger ale. Hint of rum.
Dude, all I know is that I
ale.
brought beautiful vodkas and you mixed them all with ginger beer and I was offended.
Good. Good. All right, lads. You find anything else interesting, or are you ready for it? All right. Bottoms up.
That's a good hit. That is a good hit.
Definitely a higher proof.
Rum. Oh, that rum.
I don't.
Mine.
I don't want ice with this, man.
I don't
do
either.
not want cold with this.
I actually think this is personally my favorite out of the bunch.
That was a good save. That was definitely a good save.
I did not expect this to be as... I had a sip of it once before, but I did not expect this to be as good as it is. We are not sponsored. I have not invested in this. I have no idea why I didn't. This is fantastic, though. Wow, that was... Personally, it was very sweet.
That is.
The rum is nice. The rye, you can tell. You can get a little bit of the rye, a little bit of the rum. The ginger is strong. There's a lot of sweetness. There's a lot of everything on that.
Dude, the ginger fades for me.
The ginger does. And then it
so
fades
good.
into kind of a... You can taste the bitters afterwards.
Bitters. That
Sweet,
rum.
Sweet rum, bitters, and a little bit of the rye. The rye kind of disappears more than any of the other flavors that it says that it contains.
That rum is holding me, man. That is holding me. On the Whiskey channel, I will now praise the rum. Because, yes, that is what I like. That is what I wanted. Thank you.
This is good.
That is.
I would say
That's a nice hit.
I would say the Stolen is second for me. Hercules is first. The High West is third. Out of, if I had to choose any pre-made ones out of this particular bunch, there's definitely other ones that are made on the market. There's ones with Knob Creek, specifically like the Bullet and the High West. They are from that particular distillery, has that particular bourbon in it or whiskey. The Hercules Mulligan does not state
purely because the
Soul Boxer.
temperature is reading 88 right now, and yes, I will be that petty. I want the Stolen X over ice any day of the week. That is what I'm going to hold to.
That's fair.
Nothing against the Hercules whatsoever. That was magnificent. But
because
I feel like ice would.
It's warm in here.
I feel like ice would actually ruin that.
And alcohol is not helping.
No, not at all. But no, the ice would ruin that one. I'll 100% say that. And once again, all these are supposed to be poured either neat or over ice. And I stand by my earlier argument for why I liked the Bullet. Stolen X would do well with both. The Bullet would do well with both. Those are my two takeaways. This over ice would be a disservice to the drink.
Are you in the same boat, Icy Ice?
I don't. So, you may not have noticed, but like when you guys went on your little thing about the mulligan, I don't think I liked it that much.
Really?
The Hercules. No.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I understand.
And the reason for that being is that
it's because it didn't have any olives.
I think.
Letting it go, buddy.
I'm just gonna go ahead and
never let it go.
No, it's okay. If you didn't like the Hercules Mulligan, that's 100% understandable. The Manhattan's all yours.
No. Chuck this shit.
We could all agree that out of all of these, the ones we pour out on the grass would be the Manhattan, correct?
Yeah.
That would be a waste of the Manhattan. I will clearly drink it and try to resuscitate it. But man,
I think what it is that I kind of realized on the Hercules is that I don't know if I really like pre-made drinks all that much.
I mean, that's fair.
I think that's what it is. Because I couldn't, there was because of all of them, there was none that stood out for me that was like, okay, no, this is the one.
So these are not meant to be, I'm going to sit here and sip and enjoy my time. This is, I'm hanging out with people. I just want to drink something, something that'll get me to where I want to be, but will be delightful in the process. I'm not going to be living in it. I'm just going to enjoy what it's on my palate and move to the next moment.
Either delightful or reminiscent of a flavor you're already familiar with.
Exactly.
And
I think in that regard, I'd rather make my own. Because I feel like I've tasted better than this in terms of mixed drinks.
So the truth comes out.
Yes.
That's
the final question before we answer which one's best with ice.
Do not serve as advertised. I disagree with that. The ice would be a disservice to it. I honestly feel that way.
The question is would you prefer to make your own?
I'm trash, so probably not, but would I prefer to go to almost any other bartender and have them make me whatever? I will take most of those cherry old fashions over this, to be entirely honest with you.
Fair enough.
Just because of the fact that I feel like nothing beats that fresh mix taste.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because they still maintain their distinctness, but they blend together quite well. They're starting that process. Whereas these have been bottled and kept together, so they've done one of two things. Either they've melded into their own little substance, or they've almost separated and become non-homogeneous.
It's the peanut butter and jelly paradox.
Yep.
It's like, do some people like
Pretty
that
sure he just made that
one
up. I agree with it.
Yeah. Do some people like that pre-made swirl that they have in Jules Osco? Sure. I've always hated it because I think the jelly does something weird to the peanut butter.
Fair enough.
And so with this, I just nothing. It was all kind of just like, this is fine, except for the Manhattan. That was terrible.
So all said and done, I think it's time we try ourselves the old fashions over ice. Let's give it a try. So we tried everything with ice, and some interesting things happened, and I will go from our least liked pick to our most liked pick of the bourbons on ice, or the old fashions. Correction, the old fashions.
Joke's on you guys. It was the Manhattan. We're just kidding.
So our least liked of the three is weirdly the High West. So for me personally, I really like the High West, especially neat. I liked it. I thought it was good. I loved the nose. And the concern was that it was going to vanish on ice. I don't think it vanished. It just didn't stand out. It wasn't...
Didn't meld well, honestly.
Just a whole bunch of Just not... For me personally.
I mean, what do you expect? It looked like it was prescribed heroin from a doctor of 1863.
I mean, personally, if I'm gonna go neat,
not heroin,
cocaine. I'm sorry.
No.
It was snake oil.
Opium. You're right.
It's just snake oil. It looks like it's a snake oil.
It looks like opium. You're
looks like a snake oil bottle. But honestly, I like this neat. It is our least favorite of the bunch when it comes to ice. Number 2 ended up being number 1 for one of us, and ended up being number 2 for another. And I thought it was pretty much on par with High West. It was the Bullet. Bullet was good on ice.
Held up well, kept its flavor, chilled really nice.
Yeah,
that was just it. Unlike the High West, where this is strange to say, but it felt like the High West just kind of maintained once it was put on ice.
Yeah,
it stayed the same. There happened to be an ice cube in it. Whereas the Bullet on ice stirred a little bit. I liked it. I liked it chilled. Obviously, that was my favorite back when we were testing neat.
Yeah.
And partly because I thought it would do so well on ice. It did, but...
Let's talk to the person who actually thought it was the best of the bunch.
I mean, it tasted the best to me. You know, I don't know really how else to describe it. I mean, it like felt olives. It felt like it was in the same vein of everything. I think the only way to describe it was that I guess it felt like what I would imagine an old fashioned that I would get like just out and about would taste, that I would enjoy, you know, versus the Boxer, which was my least favorite. We'll get to that in a second. I'll explain why. But it was just kind of fine.
For me personally, it was still good, but it was a lot more watered down than the bunch. For me personally, it became a lot lighter. So
to be a little bit fair to that, it was the first one poured being poured by me. Then I stirred it constantly while we were waiting.
Yeah.
So that may have, by the time it reached you,
I was the last to try it out of the bunch.
That may have diluted it a bit.
But it is still finishing in second for us. Absolutely number 2. And for some reason, the weirdest thing happened.
Yeah.
Turned out on ice.
Soul Boxer hit back, man.
Was good.
It came back in the later rounds and definitely came out swinging.
I personally, without ice, I understand it's the most approachable and my least favorite. On ice, I liked it a lot. Maybe because it was so approachable. And when you think about old fashions, it's about, you're not trying to just taste the whiskey. You're trying to taste it a little bit, but you're just trying to enjoy your time. And this was an enjoyable experience. Not amazing in any way. Nothing stood out like, oh my God, that flavor. It was just so... that sweetness came through, and it just felt relaxing, chill, fun. Fun is the best word for it.
That's exactly how I'd describe it. Honestly, once it, had just a little bit of added chill to it, it really... It felt like I was already at the bar. It felt like I was chilling, because my favorite drink to order when I'm at a bar is one of two things as my starter: Red Bull and vodka or an old fashioned, and that was the hit right there.
For me, I guess for me it still felt approachable even over ice, and as a result, it really didn't hit the cylinders inside of the head like I feel
Nothing
like it should have.
Or interesting.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of just felt like someone was like, "Hey, I ordered you an old fashioned, brought it over to me. I took a sip, was like, this is okay."
Fair enough.
It was really weird. But I think what it all comes down to, that even with the Bullet being my number 1 of the bunch in this regard over ice, it still is inside that same concept of just being like, pre-mixed just isn't for me. And I think that the Boxer epitomizes that the most for me in that regard, because it feels like something has happened in the bottle that I'm not enjoying.
It's very understandable. I get it. I totally get it, and I completely understand.
Which of the three, now that I'm thinking about it, had the most wax to it, would you say, when we were mixing it? Which one had the most stick to it in the glass?
I want to say
it was the Boxer.
It was either the Boxer or the West.
The mouthfeel on both of those were actually good. They weren't too watered down. I think it was the Boxer. A hint of it. The mouthfeel was a little nicer on the Boxer. I think the sugar content, oil content, it was very velvety in texture. It was nice. It was nice.
The reason why I asked that is, kind of going back towards the, premixes, premades not being for Jabril. Maybe it's that caramelization that kind of happens as it's melted together. That syrupness.
While I would agree to that, there is something that completely contradicts that, unfortunately. So, one of the videos we filmed recently was the malted. So, the ones we liked the most were the most dense. So, the American malt, which was a Westward, was by far his favorite, and it was much more dense than the scotches, single malts that we had. The Glengoyne and there was an Irish one, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was an Irish one. There was the Glengoyne, there was the Irish one, and then wasn't there?
Yeah, there was another one. I can't remember. Oh,
it was wrong.
It was a Teeling was the Irish.
Was that different?
Teeling was another one. Yeah.
Teeling was one of them I filmed. But regardless, he actually liked it. So I get it. But
I'm not saying so much maybe the
it's
mouthfeel, but the oiliness, the caramelization to
what
it.
It does to the flavor specifically.
Yeah, maybe that those two happen to coincide. Was it coincidence does not imply causation or something like that?
I was talking about
correlation doesn't
correlation is not causation.
I was waiting for him. Correlation isn't equal causation. So when it comes to our old fashions, we're obviously split. Everyone's opinion is different. Everyone's opinion matters to them.
Except for everyone that disagrees with me.
But one thing we all agree on is that Stolen X is fantastic.
Yeah.
Ice or not, we've had that before. We love it. The major surprise, especially for me and actually all three of us, what am I talking about, was that we decided to try this on ice, as shown on the little booklet thingy. Prior, we had said we would prefer it neat. I still stand by that, but I wasn't necessarily on the boat of trying it with ice. I was like, with ice it'd lose. I don't think I'd like it with ice. I prefer it neat.
And I stated that of all
he didn't
the
like
drinks,
it.
aside from the Manhattan, that was probably at the bottom of the list for me.
So for me and Rob,
it works. It works on ice. It was not a disappointment at all. It did not take away from it at all.
Nope.
Would I prefer it neat? I'd prefer it neat on a cold day and ice on a hot day.
Yeah.
That is exactly how I'd summarize that.
I say you can do it both ways. Depends on how you feel, exactly as you stated, and it's fantastic. I love this. Jabril did not like it until we put it on ice, and then how was your opinion with that?
And then it got put on ice, and it blew everything out of the water. It was actually really nice. I enjoyed it more than the old fashions. It was just I don't know what it was. It was good. I enjoyed it. I have no clue why that is. What turned it around? It just, when Tom pushed that glass towards me, I took my sip. I just immediately went, "This is nice."
So surprise one on that. Hercules Mulligan, regardless of anything, stands tall. Soul Boxer's amazing, and we absolutely highly recommend Stolen X. So
probably some lightning and thunder in the background.
Bunch of cork calls.
Honestly, thanks for joining us. Do you guys have anything you want to say? Anything you want to plug while you're here?
I'm starting on OnlyFans.
And it's only of his knuckles.
My knuckles and my feet.
His
sometimes.
toe knuckles.
There you go. It never shows the full Hobbit foot, but it does. It does tease it quite a little.
As I try to swallow my throw up, Jabril, do you have anything?
Unless you like following Instagrams that nothing ever happens in.
Bunch of reposts.
Fair enough.
Not even that. Not even that interesting.
Just some likes. Some likes here and there.
Just a like here and there. You could see the people I follow.
I'll get back to it when I do decide to start doing my gaming, but that's not happening yet.
Yeah, that's not yet.
Need a little bit of
There's a
saves.
lot that I have planned that isn't going to happen for a while, so there's no point even trying to plug anything.
A lot of projects in the works, nothing to even report at this point in time. Thank you for joining us. Drink up, enjoy, and stay safe.
Let's go make moonshine!